speaker's dream to have a life being on stage and creating online sales on autopilot on the other hand. The problem with the speaker's dream is that on the other hand we have also a speaker's dilemma. And maybe you also realize that situations we have experienced that you have given a great speech. Who has given a great speech in this class? You have given one yesterday or 2 days before. Who has done that? And you have looked in the eyes of the audience and you say, wow, these guys are fascinated from the work that I have done. They really taken my knowledge. And when you look in the faces, you can see what they have in their minds. So some people are saying, great, this was fantastic. This was the best speech ever that I've seen. Some people say, oh, wow, that was so cool what I've seen. That gave me so much knowledge that I could take away. Other people say, where can I buy the products of this guy? You can see that in their eyes. Okay, there are some people who are saying, this is not my piece of cake, but they are always there in the audience. So you'll never get 100%. But you know, these emotions that you see, okay, now I'm getting back to my hotel room, you can sleep really well because you know, and the next day something happens that happened never before. People will dial you, people will send you messages, and they want to get your products. Unfortunately, in my life, something happens like that. So the level of the audience engagement, this is not a scientific graph, this is something that I experienced. So people were quite engaged before I spoke. They asked me, what are you speaking about? They sent me emails in front of, they want to know something about me. They Googled me. They were quite fascinated from my speech while I was saying that. And the next 5 minutes after my speech and the break, everything went crazy. Everybody comes in. We have a bunch of people around me and they ask me and say, how can I get your products and everything else? And on the next day, nothing happens. And I thought, okay, I just need to wait for some days. Nothing happens. No one sends me messages. Maybe someone says me, congratulations, or can I have your presentation, please? Half a year later, no one even remembers your name. I had a conference a couple of weeks ago where I was talking and someone said, hey, you were there last year. So no, I haven't been at that conference before. Yeah, you were that guy talking about change. You mean Ilya? Yes, maybe that was his name. So German guys are not so common on conferences, but that happens, that people don't get connected with you. So the question is, how can we raise that attendance? How can we raise that engagement? How can we make it happen that people interact with us any longer and maybe stay with us for their whole life and buy our products? And there comes something into the game that the people in the online marketing or the marketing area calls the funnel, the marketing funnel. So when you're building a website, a marketing funnel is something where you in the beginning it's necessary to create awareness. People need to be aware of your products and what you're offering. For us as speakers, this is quite easy because we are creating awareness on the stage. And this is the best point in marketing where you can create awareness because you're connected with the people. You're in the same room with the people. So you have passed this first gate. The next step is the important one because then you need to have a conversion on something. Conversion means someone is doing an activity, someone is doing an acting towards you. Giving you, for example, an email that you could put into your newsletter, into your autoresponder. Or buying a product from you. That is the conversion that should take place afterwards. When people buy more than once, then comes the third stage, it's called loyalty. So people they not only buy your book because it's just there in the room, they add your newsletter or they buy something else, maybe some digital products that you offer. The last stage is the stage of advocacy. If you can achieve it to make the audience become friends of you, who advocate you, who talk about you with other people, that's the best stage that can happen. And this is also the stage that is the most difficult. So what we did, I want to introduce a project that we did. that went very good, and that changed the way I was doing my speeches and I was doing also my business in a significant way. And this has all something to do about how can we create a unique story. So in my experience, a marketing fund is only working when you have a unique story to sell. How did that happen to me? In 2008, I met another friend of mine, a speaker colleague, Benno van Assen. He's also a speaker about innovation. And normally when you meet people who speak on the same topic, you have a kind of competition feeling. But this was different with this guy, because he has a slightly different view on innovation, and we realized that we connected very well, and that this turns out to be a good partnership. And we realized some products together, we realized a book together, and in 2010, we realized a complete qualification that we call the innovation coach qualification. So this was about qualifying people in a company into becoming innovation consultants within their organization, something that has never been taking place in Germany before. So this was unique on the market, and we thought that this would be a good product to sell. Let's have a look at the numbers, and I'm quite honest and open with you. These were the numbers in the first 4 years. And these are the numbers of the participants, which range between 8 or maybe 12 participants. So we could make one course a year, which was not a success. And we thought about how can we do that better. And then something happens in 2015 that changed the sales immediately. And this has not anything to do, at this point, with more marketing efforts, or with more budget, or that we did something different in our programs. The reason is completely different. In 2015, we decided to found a mutual company. So we decided to put all the products and also the innovation coach qualification into a company that we founded together. And we thought about a name for that company. And of course, being in the innovation circus, we thought about all these names that you know from the Silicon Valley companies, like Super Innovation Consulting and Innovation Mastery and something like that. But somehow that doesn't connect with our persons. And we thought about our idea of our perception of innovation. We thought that innovation for us is not about methods, it's not about processes. This is more about how to create a mindset that make people more curious, make people more open for mistakes, accepting failure, things like that. Because we realized in innovation process that what makes the success. So we thought about how can we create a company name that fits to our idea of innovation. And we thought about role models. What do you think about role models for innovators? What are your role models for innovative people? Elon Musk, of course, yes. What else?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, of course.
Wright brothers.
Or the Wright brothers, of course. These are all people who are connected with innovative minds. So our role model was this guy, Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci was, for us, in the history, the most innovative person. Because he was innovative in many different areas. He created loads of ideas. And he also lived in a time where it was not so common to create innovations. Because it was easy to lose your head or something else when you create ideas that will not be liked by the church. So we thought about, let's do something in connection with Leonardo da Vinci. Well, the Leonardo da Vinci Institute or the Leonardo da Vinci Consulting Company sounds a bit like, well, doesn't sound nice. So we thought about what can we do differently? And we are not the innovators, so we are not the guys who are innovating for other people. We are teaching people how to innovate, how to create innovative processes in their organization. So one day my colleague called me and asked me from his car, he asked me the question, do you know who was the teacher of Leonardo da Vinci? I said, I have no idea. Let's look that up. And we went to the library and to Google and tried to create a lot of information, and we thought there was a guy who was called Andrea del Rocchio. And Leonardo da Vinci learned at his atelier, at his area, at his rooms for 7 years. So he learned there everything. So he was the guy who would teach Leonardo da Vinci. So we thought that is a good connection. And we read more about it, and we realized that the ideas of Andrea del Verrocchio were ideas that were almost acclaimed in many, many innovation methods we do today, like in design thinking or anything else. So we called our institute the Verrocchio Institute for Innovation Competence. Our advertising agency said that you're crazy. You cannot use this name. No one will spell it correctly. No one can repeat it. No one can even write it. But we stick on the road. So we said we need to do that because this connects so much in the way we think about innovation. So what we did is we created the Verrocchio Institute, and we realized that in that moment when we were on that road, everything went really, really easy. Because we immediately know what to do. We immediately know how to create products, how to market them, because we were in that legacy of this huge minds of these guys from Leonardo da Vinci to Andrea del Verrocchio. Fortunately, 1 year later, also the Harvard Business Review saw that. And they say, look better to Florence, it's a Renaissance. At this time, they wrote about the story of innovation in Florence than into the Silicon Valley. At this moment, our business skyrocketed. Because what we did now is that when we talked about what we are doing, we're not saying we are innovation consultant, the innovation speaker, we said, our home base is the Verrocchio Institute. Andrea del Verrocchio was a teacher of Leonardo da Vinci. And immediately everybody knows what we were doing. We don't need it to do anything else, to talk about anything else. I remember the talk from Simon Sinek, where he said, don't talk about what you're doing, talk about why you're doing. Don't speak about what you're doing, speak about why you're doing. And this was the second when we skyrocketed our business. So what is your unique story? What is your story that is creating a legacy that makes people be immediately aware of what you're doing? What is your story when someone hears it, says, oh, I immediately know what she's doing, I want to be part of that. We started to create a movement. We call it is time for a new renaissance. Because there are so much things changing in the working environment right now. There are so many things changing in the companies that it is time for a new movement. So when people come to our company, when people come to our organization, they don't do that because of the products, they do that because they want to become part of that movement. So what can you do to underline that movement? Of course you need to connect with the idea, with all the things that we said, walk the talk. So you need to create something that is connecting with the story. What we did is that we flew for a couple of days to Florence, to the place where these guys lived, and did a lot of research. We took a lot of photos there. We put ourselves on the steps of Leonardo da Vinci and Andrea del Verrocchio, and put all these photos on all over the marketing materials that we did. So our website looks like that. It has a bit of a Renaissance style. This is completely uncommon for an innovation company. Completely. They are more in the digital style. And we created products. And I can show some of the products that we created that work quite well. For example, we have taken existing models like the design thinking. This happens when you fly 27 hours on a plane. We have created products like this because the method pad that people can use during their lessons, that they can also put that on the wall while they are having their own workshops, while they're creating their own outcome. So we use existing things and put that into the Da Vinci and Verrocchio mode, into that model. We create something like overviews, and we also always use the style of this time of the Renaissance, that people immediately connect with the paper and the materials that we provide. How can you do that? And maybe someone of you is asking, okay, how can I do that? How can I create these materials? Just listen to your clients. Listen to the problems that your customers have. For example, I had a client who said, I have a problem. I always need to solve problems of other people, and I don't like it. And that's why innovation is not working in our company. Because we have to solve problems of the CEO, we have to solve problems of another department. So what we created was a tool that's called the Problem Tackler. A tool that can transform nasty problems quickly into attractive challenges. That's an easy tool, but this is working so well. Just by using some coaching methods, putting that on a paper, a large paper is always better than a small one, it looks like that. Yeah. And yet when you can work with it, and people use that, and they're amazed, they think, this is so fantastic, now I'm really into that thing. Until today, we created over 108 products in that way. What do you think? How many of these products are we selling?
Well, if you gave all that lot away, you'd get a shed load of business afterwards.
So we are selling 5 products out of these 108.
Good for you.
All these other products we are giving away for nothing. Only 5. And these 5, there's only one reason why we are not giving that away for nothing, because it's too complicated. People will not understand it when they use it on their own.
Yeah.
That's why we combine them with an online course or with a workshop. But we are not giving that away once. We are giving that away for time after time. So people get that, for example, every 2 weeks. And every 2 weeks they get a new tool and they are amazed. They, wow, that's so cool. I want to have more, I want to have more. And we receive messages. We have an array of people leaving our newsletter of 3.5%. This is nothing. Because we are giving away stuff. So, a good thing for you to write down maybe is, how can you create tools for your business? How can you create things like that? And it can be tools on paper, it can be something else, and something digital. And they don't have to be large tools where you put lots of money and investment in. Just useful little tools, the process of giving away something for free. That is what bringing people into your funnel. And that is important. The second thing is building a strong relationship. How can you do that? How can you do that online? It's easy to build a relationship when you're in the same room. We all professionals in that as speaker. But it's not easy when the person has left the room and you lose the connection, you lose the direct connection. So what can you do? There's a nice sentence that I read a couple of weeks ago, written by a marketing guy, an online marketing guy. He said, when people know that you care about and anticipate their needs, they will work with you with their wallets. I like that sentence. So how can we do that? How can we let them know that we care about? Who has a newsletter or an autoresponder working right now? So how often do you send out emails?
Once a week.
Once a week.
Once a week.
Once a week? I see people sending out emails, and I also read a lot of newsletters from colleagues, 3 times a week. And 3 times they talk about their events and about their products. I don't know how many people are still in that newsletter, but I'm pretty sure the people who are there are not people who are really reading those newsletters. So if you don't anticipate the needs of the customer, of the client, no one will read it. I think we live in times where you're not waiting for a newsletter to arrive. The inbox is full of stuff. So how can we do that? So most people act like that. These are sheets, herded through one entrance. This is what people do. So everybody who signs up for your newsletter or for the newsletter that I know, everybody's getting the same newsletter. Is it anticipating the needs? No. because you're not interacting with everyone in the same way when you're interacting directly with him. So a good thing is to adjust the newsletter to the person who is behind the PC or the Mac. So how can you do that? I will show you the way how we create our autoresponder. At first, when I'm doing a speech, I'm always a couple of minutes before I end, I say a sentence like, especially after I talk about something very complicated or after I show a model. I always say the sentence, I know that you would like to have the slides, or many people ask me, if you want to like to have the slide after the speech, you will see a slide where you can immediately create something much better. Because we are having a newsletter that we'll send to you every week, and you will receive all the content of the speaker much more in small little pieces for many weeks. This is much, much better than sending you the presentation. So what we did afterwards is that this is a German URL here. We created a domain, a URL. This is called Vortragsnachbrenner, which is in English like speaking or keynote afterburner. This is a URL that everybody can have in his mind for more than 20 minutes. So even when they're not able to write it down, they will remember that 20 minutes later when they have a pen in their hand. And at the end, there's a short sentence or short word that describes the event. So it's a GSS. So you can ask everybody 20 minutes later and they will remember that. But there are the nerdy people who have this QR code reader, you know? They can use that. And they can use that immediately after the event. And you have only 3 fields to fill. Your name, your email address, and how you want to be addressed. Because in Germany we have the difference between, we say du or sie, which might be much complicated. So what we do afterwards is that we created something that's called Verrocchio notes. Because we know that Leonardo da Vinci was writing loads of notes during his works, little pieces of memory, of thoughts, of ideas. And we thought that's a great idea, we should do that also. So we were creating loads of these little ideas, and some ideas include a tool, some of the tools that I always showed you, and some ideas just included a new idea. So for example, today is a good day to think differently. So do something different and ask another question, something like that. Right now we created 82 different notes, so we have stuff enough for 82 weeks. We put it in an autoresponder that people receive it automatically every week. I think in the same way they do, in the same way they like to do it. But everybody who is get in touch with us starts at the beginning. So we don't need to create new news every week. We just set these people on the existing autopilot system. So what happens then is that we send out a message. The message is quite personal, and this message contains always a link. So to get more information about the topic, you need to click on that link. And then you're coming on a website which is part of our website, like a landing page. And this funnel, or this autoresponder, just includes content, nothing else. There's no advertising in it, nothing. It's just content. But what we do is that we are examining what the persons are clicking on afterwards and doing the way they read. And we are able, we use a software that's called GetResponse. I'm pretty sure that you use similar program. GetResponse has the ability to tag clients and to tag contacts. So you can create, for example, something like an automation. If that person clicks on that topic, then gives this person the tag XY. If that person clicks three times on that topic, give him the tag XY. And so you can create different tags for different people. And that's quite useful because there are not only one client, you have different clients, you have CEOs, you have consultants there, you have people from different professions, from different industries. All these people are different and everybody needs something different. What you can do is when you tag these contacts is that you can address them directly to their needs. And maybe someone needs to have a problem tackler, something like that. Maybe someone wants to visit an event. Maybe someone wants to do a complete innovation coach qualification. So you learn about the clients while they're interacting with you. And that's amazing, because what people say is, this is so fantastic, you always write these notes so personal. Don't you have this automatic thing? And this could happen because you get some knowledge over a while about what your clients really want and what they really... And it's quite easy it's a bit of work to set it up, but in the end it's quite easy to do that. You don't need to be a marketing professional to do that. The third thing that I want to give here is that it's important to create a community. Because of course, if people only interact with you digitally, that is a one-way interaction. So it's important at one point that you connect these people with each other. I mean, you could always connect with them, but it is a lot of work for you. And we always say, okay, send us questions if you want to know something about innovation. Some people are doing that, but this is also always work for us. So we want to connect the community. How can we do that, or how do we do that? We have two main tools here. One tool is the so-called Innovation Circle. This is just a LinkedIn group. So everybody who has been part of our qualification, of our workshop, is automatically part of that group. And what people do is that they are asking questions there. They're asking questions like, I want to create innovation culture in my company, I'm running a workshop with the CEO, I have no idea what to do. And after a while, other people are responding, oh, I've been in the same situation. And they interact with each other. So if there's no work for us, they are bringing the content into the group. The only thing that we are bringing into that group is from time to time when we release some new tools. We say, come on, here, we have some new tools. Or we have a new event. Go to that event. The second thing is the Innovation Summit. That is something that happens once a year, where people can meet directly, have some fun, have drinks, see some keynotes, and get a better connection. And everything happens under the roof of the Brockview Institute, and people want to become part of the story. They're talking about that. And most of the new participants of our qualification, as I would say over 80%, are referrals from people who already have been in touch with us, who always spend a while in that funnel. And even when someone is not buying directly, what I realize is that when people are becoming part of your funnel, it takes around 1 year until they start buying. That was in the beginning, that was frustrating because we were setting up all the stuff and nothing happened. But it was, in most times, it was 1 year that people start to buy, that people start to go to our qualifications, go to our events, or buy something different. So use that for your business. Try to use these products. Try to bring people into the funnel and try to create a community that makes it possible for you to gain success and to gain money out of this, not only through speaking. So just to wrap up here, the 4 points that I think that are most needful for that are what I have experienced for our business. So the first thing is to create your own unique story that connects with your customers. So what is your story? What is your legacy that you're talking about? What are people talking about when you're not in the room? What is your personality in this? Develop useful products and link them to the story. And don't develop just 3 products. Develop hundreds or thousands of products. There are products all the way around. In every question of the client, in every problem that he's addressing, there's a product for you. Build a strong relationship. And don't be that one who's sending out emails, every email to the same email to every client. Look behind the email, look behind who's sitting there. What is the need of the client? What is the need of the recipient? And at the end, create a community. Let people be part of that movement. Virtually, via LinkedIn or Facebook, or live by creating great events. This is what happens to be the success for our story. And I would like to invite you to make a successful story for yourself. Thank you.